Okay, everyone, we're gonna drive in here to Lakeside Retreats. There will be a wood sign there. Come fest time for the Mind Under Matter Campout Festival in Raleigh, 20 minutes southeast of downtown, September 9th through the 11th. This is an updated tour video. We're gonna shorten it a bit, simplify things. Some of our plans have evolved and some of our spaces have changed a little bit, and wanted to give another run through. So trying to make this one a little bit shorter as well, but I wanted to make this for internal purposes and for people new to us and unfamiliar with the Campout and just discovering it now. Here is the booth that you will arrive at to check in, and then we have a ways to get to the camping field. Very spacious and away from everything. And then we'll head to the lake stage where all the music will be and everything else. So at the booth you'll check in. We did because we got a lot of requests, we ended up offering single day passes for the weekend. So you'll have special wristbands for each day or a different color for the weekend, so we can keep everyone straight. And there is camping available. It's free if you get the full weekend pass. You don't have to camp here. And let me tell you, so those of you unfamiliar, we are having about over 15 bands, over 15 science talks with scientists from around the country, over 15 stand-up comedians, over 20 visual artists, painters and crocheters and forgers and all sorts of interesting things. And this is kind of basically the physical manifestation of everything that we do. So the show, Mind Under Matter, if you're unfamiliar, maybe a friend of yours is coming and turned you on to this or something like that. You heard it advertised. Mind Under Matter is a podcast with me, Shane Moss, and my co-host, Ramin Nazer. We're both stand-up comedians who met about 10 years ago and have been collaborating ever since. Our lives have gone off into doing all sorts of interesting things. I tour regularly as a stand-up all around the world, but I also, in touring, interview scientists about how the brain works, meaning of life stuff, animal behavior, biology, evolution, a lot of like behavioral economics, why we spend money in peculiar ways, things like that, trying to make science accessible and useful for people. I've been doing that every week for my show Here We Are for the last 8 years. And Ramin Nazer has a podcast, Rainbow Brain Skull. So he's gone on to become a full-time artist, very popular on Instagram, has a lot of artist followers himself, which is a big part of the reason why we decided to do a festival and have our community get together and show off the cool things they do as well. And so Ramin interviews like musicians and creatives and mystics, and so we kind of have a yin-yang thing going on. I'm the science guy. Ramin gets more into the woo kind of stuff, and so we combine philosophy and comedy and absurdity and art. And now we're getting to the camping field. This is the auxiliary field for those day passes that aren't camping, and this is all going to be mowed down in time for the festival. But this field camps comfortably about 1,000 people, which is more than what we'll be getting in this first year, probably, but we will cap at 1,000 if that's the case, or maybe earlier, because we have a lot of volunteers and other staff and stuff that's around. So there will be communal fires set up everywhere. It's one of my favorite parts, is I'm encouraging people to meet some strangers and some like-minded people. Over here, we're having an early risers area in this corner, and then we're kind of separating people by noise level and time that they prefer. So it's very spacious. There's tons of space available, but down in here, we're going to have a late nighters area and kind of jamboree area where a lot of the bands and then just anyone that has an instrument or whatever is welcome to come and hang out and jam and play with some professional musicians and stuff like that. It's kind of the thing that I'm looking forward to most with all the big things that we have going on all the stages. What I'm really looking forward to is just camping and hanging out with people and having fun conversations and making new friends. But we have plenty of events for you guys. And so there is, by the way, you're welcome to get RVs or whatever else. There's on mindunderpod.com, there's some directions to getting camping equipment and rentals and things. This is the field stage where we're having, it's the smaller secondary stage where we're having non-music related things. There's tents, like art tents set up in a semicircle around here when they put festivals here at this property to kind of create a space. So that's where science talks and stand-up comedy and some live podcasts will be. We'll be doing like a slideshow of Ramin's art and maybe some movie screenings and some other fun stuff on that trailer. Now we're heading into Artist Row. So we're on the way to the beautiful lake stage in the main part of the property. And in here, we're going to have over 20 artists showing off some of their stuff. A bunch of them are listed on mindunderpod.com, so you can now see the full, basically full performer page. So, there will be pop-up tents and stuff all along here with various artists displaying what they do, and it's going to make the place look really nice and cool. And so that's all around here is Artist Row. We may try to put them all in one space, like pretty close to one another. And then we are arriving at the lake stage. So this is where we'll have bands from pretty much 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. About every night. Friday, Saturday, Sunday ends a little earlier, but we still have late night things going on Sunday for people that want to camp out. That's when Ramin and I are going to be staying up late and partying and hanging out with people more, because we'll be done with our various shows and things that we're doing. So that lake stage, which, by the way, by this picnic table here, there's a stand-up paddleboard company coming with 16 paddle boards, and it's included in the ticket cost. They'll come with instructions and stuff. So the stage will have like a LED screen and a bunch of amazing lights and stuff. So the owner of the property is also the co-owner of Life is Art Studios, which does lighting for concerts. So like they're doing the lighting for Red Rocks soon, and do all sorts of big venues all around the country, and a lot of festivals and stuff. So they have so you're going to get a way better visual performance and display than we would normally be able to get at a property this size. We're very lucky we threw out the idea that we wanted to do a festival somewhere, and oh, here's some outdoor bathrooms. And this is the wellness area. Here's a sauna. We'll have ice baths as well. Down here is where there's going to be yoga classes and some flow classes and things like that. There's another area that we might have some flow workshops and stuff. We'll just kind of decide as people arrive. But and then I'm heading to what is now the kind of meetup area for a couple fun functions. There's like a solo meetup for anyone coming here by themselves. There's a board game meetup. There's a mycology meetup that has with a mushroom hunt, hiking tour, and some cool stuff like that. And yeah, so the owner of Life is Art and Lakeside Retreats is a really big listener of our show, Mind Under Matter. Had a listen from our very first episode, and when he heard that we were looking for a place, he was like, I've actually just been doing some festivals at kind of exactly the size that you're talking about, and maybe we should think about having one here. So I came here in May, checked it out, had an amazing time at some of the small Campout festivals he threw, dropped everything, moved here for the summer to put this all together, and we couldn't be more excited. So here's just a cool meetup area. There is also across the lake another area where people can barbecue and do various things. So there's the lake stage again, and then if you went the other direction from the lake stage, you'd be in this area over there where there's a lot of shade and stuff during the day, and a cool place to hang out, play some lawn games and things like that. Cook out if you like. There'll be food vendors, but there's also BYOB for all of your beverages, and we have some sponsors providing some free alcohol, but that's in limited amounts, have some kegs and stuff, and we don't know how soon that will run out, so we also encourage people to BYOB, but free beer, that is a selling point. So this little hidden area here is where we're having a geodesic dome, kind of like a trippy igloo, where there will be a dome with projection mapping and some chill music and just a fun, relaxing, kind of interesting, artsy, trippy spot to get away from the festival. There's plenty of room around this lake to have plenty of privacy by yourself and walk around and find some areas with picnics and things. And so we're trying to keep it we wanted something that was like under 1,000 people. We'll probably we think we'll break 500 or so pretty easily in the first year. Make sure and get tickets ahead of time, because there's all sorts of offers and deals for the early ticket holders, and you'll be rewarded accordingly, including having special access to certain activities and things at our event. So go to mindunderpod.com and you can see the full performer list, get a sense of the schedule. You can see how many things we have going on. And we are really looking forward to seeing you guys September 9th through Sunday the 11th, with camping until the 12th. And we have a Patreon day on the 8th for all of our Patreon supporters out there to just have a meet and greet and get to know one another a little more closely before the general public shows up on the Friday and arrange the camping area. and stuff. By the way, there's fishing in this lake, and we look forward to seeing you guys.